going on, everyone? Welcome into Cobracast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Monday night, fresh off of the legendary Charlie Kirk Memorial that broke all types of records, that had optics that you couldn't buy. It was such a perfect night. And the left is breaking down, and we just have to continue to sit back and watch the show. Everybody has to understand that what's going on, they are breaking down right before our eyes because they cannot touch what we saw last night. It is glorious. And we've got Jimmy Kimmel news. I'm going to fill you in on all of that. Kate for 50 says, thank you for giving me my outro a day late. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you saw it. I'm sorry that I missed it on the day that I was supposed to do it, but I'm glad that you saw it. So good to see you here, Kate. Appreciate you. Wyoming Sasquatch says early and straight. Look at there. Look at there. And then Timothy says, how many libs do you think are going to poison their kids with Tylenol in a desperate attempt to own Trump? Yeah, man. I mean, that's the whole thing is now they're probably going to go out there because Trump made this announcement that in his opinion, you know, Tylenol has expecting mothers that are pregnant shouldn't be taking Tylenol because of the ties to autism. So that the Dems and the libs are now just going to go out and probably start like taking all types of Tylenol because that's just how their minds work. So absolutely. And I know I said I was going to be traveling. I delayed my traveling till early tomorrow morning. So that's why I'm here live. So no traveling until early tomorrow morning. So hitting the road early instead of driving throughout the day. So there you have it. Mike says Homeland Security using Pokemon theme Lamau. I know, it's awesome. Little Jim's Halo says executive order on Antifa being a terrorist organization. Yes, it's beautiful. Okay, so I know a lot of people are curious about what's going on with Jimmy Kimmel. So Disney and ABC did announce that they were going to be bringing Jimmy Kimmel Live back starting tomorrow night. So that had a massive amount of attention on social media. Well, now we're hearing from Sinclair that Sinclair, who is a major network that I think has like 30 ABC affiliate stations, if I'm not mistaken, and Sinclair's spokesperson confirms that Jimmy Kimmel's show will be pulled from their ABC affiliates indefinitely, despite the news of ABC bringing back Kimmel's failing show. So it says beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across our ABC affiliate stations and replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing, and we will evaluate the show's potential return. Sources tell me, meaning Benny Johnson, sources tell me that the network wants Jimmy Kimmel to apologize to Erica Kirk for maliciously lying about Charlie's murder. There you have it. Boom. So we'll see what happens with this. But that's the latest news. And the reason that it's so important to understand that, this is what they're dealing with right here. So this is Charlie's executive producer for his show. He's on with Jesse Waters. Let's listen to this really quickly.
Andrew Colvitz, the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show. Andrew, what would have Charlie thought about yesterday?
He would have been blown away. Tyler Boyer, who runs the C4 for us, shared a text chain from 2021. And he put in it, he said, "This is my vision." And it was a picture of stadiums full of people, because at Turning Point, we were sort of known for these big events, but Charlie was always dreaming bigger. And for those of us closest to him, we knew that his vision had just become reality. And it's tragic that it happened this way, but it was also beautiful for the country. And I know that Charlie would be marveling at the harvest. He would be so proud at us pointing to God and us holding vigils and praying and seeing the world's most powerful leaders coming to Phoenix to honor him and to lift up the name of Jesus. It was truly remarkable. I know Erica was blown away. And as she always told Charlie in private, this is not normal. There's nothing normal about Charlie Kirk's life. There's nothing normal about Charlie Kirk's death.
You spend so much time with him. How do you feel today?
If I'm being honest with you, Jesse, I feel like the last 11 days were a whirlwind. We went from shell-shocked to devastated, heartbroken, so many tears, to instantly thrown into this moment where we had to plan a stadium event for, hundreds of thousands of people. And by the way, I'm going to break a little bit of news on your program.
And this is what I'm talking about right here. This is the impact that that the left should be terrified of, because this is what they're dealing with. This is who you are alienating right here.
Jesse, our partners that do sort of geotagging with devices, they told us that they tracked over 277,000 devices in the vicinity of State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona.
Wow.
277,000. So that just gives you an idea of the scale of humanity out there. But I just want to give a hat tip and a major kudos to our team that pulled this off. They did an event that should have taken 6 months to plan in about 6 days. And it is a absolute testament to the leadership of Charlie Kirk and the type of people he surrounded himself with, and the type of people that are still in this organization. They carry a piece of him with them, and they did the impossible, and they did it for Charlie. And it was amazing. And I think it was cathartic for all of us as we're grieving. And I think now there's a moment where, yes, we're going to march forward. We're going to make sure that this mission and this vision that is Turning Point grows and multiplies and thrives. We want a 10X it, Jesse, but I think there's a moment where, if I'm being honest with you, some of it is still hitting me just now.
Of course. How's Erica?
She's strong. She is a fierce lioness. She is just an incredible woman. I know that everybody can see that through her now 2 speeches. And I told her, I said, you've given the 2 best speeches I think I've ever heard.
Yep.
And you did it in quick succession. And I don't think anybody would disagree with me, Jesse. I can't remember a more important speech than the one she gave last night, where she forgave the assassin of Charlie Kirk. And
It's probably, in my opinion, it's probably the single most impressive speech I've ever seen from any person in my lifetime. With all of the weight of the world, and how soon after dealing with her husband's assassination, I just can't even understand the pressure that was on her. Truly unbelievable, really. I can't compliment her any more than I already have. It's just probably the single most powerful and impactful speech I've ever seen.
Just how powerful that is. And I told her, what you've done is so critically important for the future of this country, because what could have been a convulsive moment of chaos and anarchy has turned into this beautiful moment where we can actually direct this energy in a positive way. We can have peace, we can have unity, because you've taken the first hardest step and let go of that out of your heart. This person has no power over you anymore, Erica. And more than that, I just want to say, Jesse, I personally am so blown away at how little this character has become in this saga, how small of a role he has played, because the legacy of Charlie has grown so big, and so many new people are discovering Charlie, and so many people are opening their Bibles. I'm blown away at how little I've thought of him.
It's like what Erica said last Friday. You have no idea what you've just unleashed. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time.
And then, so what he was talking about was these numbers right here. 277,000 cell phones were geotagged at the Charlie Kirk event. For reference, the next biggest MAGA event was 97,000. They have clocked over 100 million streams, excluding broadcasts for the event. The arena workers said that they received more press inquiry than the Super Bowl. Absolutely insane. And like I said, just watching that event yesterday and how well done it was, It was absolutely an amazing event. It really was, man. Gregory says, I got my account back from Ben Shapiro. Thank you for covering me. This is how you respond to me roasting you. See there? See, Gregory and I disagreed yesterday. I took a shot at him, and then he just comes back and he like leans into it. This is all you got to do, man. We will be friends if you do that. That's really it, man. Shit talking is part of the world, okay? And that's what we do here at Cobracast 199. Kate for 1999 says, my mom was telemetry RN. She refused to ever give us Tylenol. I also remember when Phil Donahue had a special episodes talking about Tylenol shutting down kidney function. Man, I'm old enough to remember Donahue. Donahue used to be the single most, like, him and Oprah. But yeah, I remember when Donahue was a thing for sure. Did I mess it up? I don't know. I don't know how to read that word. Again, listen, I'm in good company, okay? I don't know if you guys heard President Trump today try to say, I don't know what he said. Hang on, I gotta find it. So when Trump was having his announcement on autism, he got to a word and you could tell he's like, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is this it right here? Here it is right here. All right, here's Trump.
Be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say. But you have certain groups, the Amish as an example, they have essentially no autism. First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that.
Well, let's see how we say that.
Well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically.
Oh my gosh, he's so funny, man. He knew he ran into a word and he's like, I can't even sound this one out.
The use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol. During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right.
He used all those big words just to get to a point. So taking Tylenol is not good. That's the most Trump thing I've ever heard.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think. Be very.
So yeah. So overall, I mean, outside of the comedy element there, you know, that's what the Trump administration was talking about yesterday. And I know that RFK spoke about it as well. I don't have all the specifics, but I did have the bullet points from it. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly, and I can give you kind of the basics. But yeah, it's just that he's so funny that that's all I could focus on in the moment, because this is why Trump is so authentic. Like any other politician, they're proofreading and they're making sure that they can understand every word so that they can come out there and be fake. And so I see somebody says it's embarrassing. Funny, I guess. You're embarrassing, okay? You know what you are? You're someone that needs a politician to be fake and phony so that you can believe that your little utopia exists. You need Barack Hussein Obama to have a teleprompter and needs to practice every word so that he can come out there and be a phony and a fraud so that you can make yourself feel better. You're like, oh, see, my guy knows all the words. Okay. Trump doesn't give a shit. Okay. Trump's just going to go, I'm going to read words. If I screw them up, I screw them up. Okay. And then you live in your little fucking bubble. I said, fuck, I don't care. I'll drop gifted memberships. You live in your fucking bubble where if a person makes a mistake, you want to sit there while you're jerking off to your own tears. And you want to sit there and be like, I'm judgmental because he didn't understand the word, but it's embarrassing. Fuck you. I'll drop your gifted memberships now. Anyway. I just, people like that are so, this is embarrassing. Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. What are you embarrassed over? Did somebody messed up a fucking word? Anyway, I had to get my F-bombs out. You're only getting one gifty out of it. I just got them all out, okay? There's the gifties. Maybe it's just because I didn't drop any F-bombs the last stream and I needed to get that one out. So anyway, there's the gifties. So have at it. And by the way, if people messing up words is embarrassing to you, this show's not going to be good for you because I mess up a lot of words. But anyway, the specifics that he specifies, I just messed a word up. All right. He specifies that this is his opinion and not medical fact. Do not take Tylenol. Split the vaccines into 4 or 5 doctor visits. Wait until 12 to get is it hepatitis B vaccine? And I'm not even going to try to say that word. Is a potential medicine for help with autism. So there you have it. Jeremy, you got to cut the mullet. It's getting out of control. It's getting bad, man. It's getting bad. Look at all that hair. I don't know, man. Should I get rid of it? I've been thinking about cutting it, but I don't know. We'll see. I almost shaved my head the other day. I almost did it, but not going to do it yet. Party in the back. All right, the chat's going crazy now. Kimmel's back. No, okay, so for people that are tuning in, let me recap that for you really quickly because I know there's a lot of confusion on the Jimmy Kimmel front. But no, I mean, technically, yes, he's back, but right here, ABC affiliates owner Sinclair rebels against Disney allowing Jimmy Kimmel back on, declares they will not air Kimmel tonight. So Sinclair, which is a major ABC affiliate, is not having it, okay? And right there, again, Sinclair says despite Disney's decision, they will not program Jimmy Kimmel until further notice. Right here, Sinclair Broadcast, who owns 31 ABC stations, just announced they will refuse to broadcast Jimmy Kimmel's show when ABC puts him back on the air. So that doesn't mean that they won't put him back on the air, but as of now, they are not interested in having Jimmy Kimmel on their affiliate networks. So we'll see what happens. I think this is going to end up being a huge problem for Disney moving forward. And I love how they're getting called out by all of these celebrities standing with Jimmy Kimmel, yet none of them had anything to say about Gina Carano's firing. Again, man, this is what I'm saying, man. We just have to let these left-wing lunatics show everyone who they are, and they're doing a great job of that right now. JMNZZ450 Says, saw a post from one of the Kranzenstein bros about the memorial, called him the gamer word his lisp implies he is, got flagged for hate speech. Very proud of myself. Will likely do it again. F them and the devil horned cock ring they rode in on. Thank you, JMNZZ 450. I appreciate it, brother. And yeah, I mean, those guys, I don't really understand those Kranzenstein brothers. I don't really understand what, like, so like with Destiny, I keep telling everybody with Destiny, like, Destiny wants the attention and he's loving everything he's getting. I feel like the Kranzenstein brothers are the same exact way, where they just want attention and they're willing to say whatever they can to get that attention. And so time will tell with how it goes for some of these guys, but I know for a fact that Destiny is just eating this stuff up. He loves the attention. Eric Heffelfinger says, there's an ABC Sinclair station in my town. My fire department has been told to prepare for possible attacks on it. Credible threats. Holy crap. See? But, and this is what we're seeing across the board right now. So right here, let me show you this. First of all, this was today. President Trump has signed an executive order officially labeling Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. This happened today. Now, as that's happening, you're starting to see the left breaking down right before our very eyes. Here is Scott Jennings asked the FBI to investigate these reported threats made, then deleted by Keith Olbermann against him. Keith Olbermann says this to Scott Jennings: "Your next mother effer. Keep mugging it to the camera." This is them. This is the left. And this is just let them keep running their mouths because they're showing the world who they are. Now, on that front, context is important, okay? And this is what I'm talking about with like some of these people in the conservative movement don't understand culture and they don't understand context. It's okay to be outraged about leftists that have one focus, which is hating Trump and hating Trump supporters, okay? That's always been our argument. But then you have libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok uploads this video right here and is very offended. Well, what libs of TikTok fails to tell you is that this is GWAR. This is what GWAR has been doing for as long as GWAR has been GWAR. Yet libs of TikTok wants to be upset. I really like, I know that libs of TikTok has done a lot of good by exposing a lot of people, but libs of TikTok has no ability for context whatsoever when they show these things right here. So right here, oh, I didn't know it got a community. I did not know this got a community note. But it got a community note. I had no idea. So GWAR kills basically anyone who is world famous, even Democrat politicians. So right here, like, I'm so glad this got community noted. But yeah, man, like, libs of TikTok doesn't care about the context. Libs of TikTok doesn't really want, like, truly libs of TikTok does not, or what's her name? I don't even know what her name is, but libs of TikTok does not want a peaceful world. Libs of TikTok needs to continue to find things to be outraged over constantly in order to stay relevant. That's what she needs. I can't pronounce her name. Yeah, it's like Chaya or something like that. But yeah, I think she's a fraud personally, but she's gotten so rich and so famous off of like calling this stuff out, or at least just exposing libs. And so, yeah, I mean, she was like Didn't she go on Tucker Carlson when he was still on Fox News? She's been invited to all of these events. But it is what it is. But I'm glad that got community noted. I had no idea. I saw that Quarter Black Garrett actually called her out in the comments, though. I did see that. But ultimately, you know, if you're going to be upset about something, be upset about it, but have a little understanding of culture. Have a little, like, did you watch Beavis and Butthead? Did you watch Beavis and Butthead? For those that watched Beavis and Butthead, we get it. And by the way, I heard Sam Hyde. Good job, buddy. All right. Good job. I heard Sam Hyde, you know, got to know libs of TikTok very well. So good job, buddy. Good job indeed. So, all right. Where we got this? Max says, arrest Keith Olbermann right effing now. I agree completely. Lord Voldemort with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. 10 gifted memberships. Eric Guidewall with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. Scroats McGoat says, Jeremy, that mullet's a disgrace. Cut it off. Looks lazy, sloppy, totally disrespectful. That's a good reason for me to keep it right there. It really is. That makes me want to keep it when you say it. Michael says, regarding Kimmel, communists just proved that capitalism and the free market works. Packy Proton says, as a non-believer in God and all things religion, feeling a bit left out of all this praising, but okay, being a heathen until proven wrong. Hail, or hashtag unit 199. Dude, man. I mean, I thought, like, what JD Vance said the other day, I thought was, I connected with that. Because, like, you know, JD Vance just said, like, he's always been pretty private about his beliefs and his faith and everything like that. And I'm the same way. It's just not something that I don't know if it's something I'm not comfortable talking about publicly. It's just something that I never have done publicly because it's always been, you know, just something that I take very, you know, personal. And I don't really like preaching to people. I don't like telling people what they should or shouldn't believe. It's just not my thing. And JD Vance saying that was, I connected with that for sure. But yeah, man, yesterday was pretty incredible. But I hear you on that, man. Zero says, hey, cutie, does the carpet match the eyebrows? That's just weird. Let's see. Grindo Drome says, I heard Beardo confirmed Bridget Macron is a woman. Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay. So, listen, if you really want to punish people that do bad things, I have an easy way. All you got to do is let them be the person that had to investigate Bridget Macron's picture, because the BBC has reported that Bridget Macron has presented photographic evidence in court confirming she is not biologically male. Whoever had to review this footage, I am really sorry. I am really sorry. But yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. But yeah, so apparently Beardo confirmed it. So there you have it. Yikes. That's just, I mean, ultimately, like, this is all because of the Candace Owens thing. And look, man, I don't know much about this story, so I can't comment on it much. But I just know that I would not want the job that whoever had to review this footage. I'm glad I don't have their job. Simple as that. So, yeah, I don't even know how to think straight after this conversation. I'm just kind of freaked out. Let's just move on from this topic, shall we? Let's just move on. Eric Hayes says, Trump caught the beardo. Jeremy's dad says, how did you like OU making Auburn cry? 10 sacks. Well, I hate Auburn, so I'm always going to pull against Auburn. DJ Fitzy says, Trump just pulled a beardo. Ladybug says, Jeremy, it's not a proper 199, but it's my birthday. So can you show Henry Cavill for us ladies? Yes, I'm grifting my birthday hard today. I don't have any clips of Henry Cavill, but I could find a clip of a very, very, very much alpha male if you like. Okay. So let's see here. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, you may question if it's real or not, but I'm just telling you it's a real picture. Ladies, that's for you right there. 100% real, okay? 6'3", 215 pounds of ripped, shredded American alpha male. All right? That is a real picture. Again, he could have been UFC champion, but he chose to make America great again. Because that's what type of person Trump is. Here's another picture. Real picture. I see you, Ladybug. First of all, happy birthday, Ladybug. Happy birthday. So there you have it right there. That's a real picture of President Trump. I have it confirmed that is a real picture. So there you have it. He's jacked. He's shredded. He could have been UFC champion. Happy birthday, Ladybug. Victor says, that's my president. Jordan says, lol, that's my president. He was like, what the F is this shit? Nandy says, I appreciate Beardo reading super chats now. Summer says, circa 2005, I heard on Coast to Coast AM about the link between Tylenol to treat fever after childhood jabs and autism. To some, this is not news. I've seen a lot of people talking about that too. Let's see. Where's it at? Libs go full 1980s neurotic on Tylenol now. Please do that voice more. Hail the 199. What voice did I do? I don't remember. Benny going off on Omar and Crockett on Jesse Waters. Let's go. I've actually got a clip of Benny Johnson pulled up on Jesse Waters. We'll cover here in just a minute. As someone with Asperger's syndrome, autism, not sure how I feel about Trump trying to eliminate autism. I mean, I don't know much about autism myself, but I think that there's definitely something worth looking into for sure. Rabid Wolverine says, God bless the USA. Deathu says, I have breaking news. ABC won't have Geeks and Gamers locals to stream WWE and AEW events. Grumpy says, bring back the hockey mullet. Hail. Bird Up says, I'm a Guar fan. Guar has been doing stuff like that for almost 40 years. They fed Jerry Springer, an actual guy, to a giant maggot. Lord Voldemort says, these gifties are in honor of the return of the F-bombs to Cobracast. Thank you. Eggy Orphan says, seeing people going crazy that Trump said Tylenol causes autism, trying to make a point that autism was there before Tylenol and that he blames moms. I mean, people are going to go crazy no matter what Trump does or what he says. That's just how it is. So I that's why I don't take Trump criticism seriously, because when you just cry about Trump all the time, I don't take you seriously. at all. So are there valid criticisms of President Trump? Absolutely. But when you spend your day crying about him nonstop 24/7, then yeah, you may have a valid criticism in the middle of your meltdown, but 99% of what you cry about is irrelevant. So that's why I don't care about it at all. It means nothing to me and I dismiss it. So yeah, that's just how I roll. What is this right here? I haven't heard this. Let's hear this. Hang on. So in 2025, Sonny Hostin versus Roseanne's firing. Okay, let's hear this.
Our founders drafted the First Amendment specifically to protect the rights of citizens to criticize the government. When you cross that kind of societal norm, you must pay the consequence. And firing her was the right thing to do. I'm thrilled that ABC did it.
Every single time, this is what happens with these clowns. They are the worst people in the world. That's why they can't be taken seriously. You have to meme on them. And in fact, listen, all I know is this is what I voted for. All right. This is Department of Homeland Security, ladies and gentlemen. You ready for this? Gotta catch them all. This is from the official government account.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon, oh, you're my best friend. In a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Our hearts so true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
They put the cards up. They put the cards up. Oh, that is President Trump's America right there. It's absolutely awesome. You have to love it. Like, how can you not be happy about that? I don't know if I could find Ryan's edit of when he sang Pokemon. Let's see. Is this it? No, I don't think so. Ryan's got like one where he sang it, and we have an edit somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. I'm looking for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. It's so good though. I'm sure Eric K will probably be able to find it for me. But that's what I voted for right there. Wrestling Proud 87 says, thank you for an awesome month and many more. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. You guys have been incredibly supportive this month. So thank you. You guys are the best. Slane Hope says, why not use DNA instead of a photo? Sus as hell. Big PP Energy says Bridget Macron did the go while they took the photos. Random commentator says maybe it's more accurate to say Beardo confirmed that she's a woman enough for him. Lol. Muller Ab says that ICE video. I love Trump's America. Me too. MAGA Cracker Mike says the entire dismantlement of woke Antifa that has now been officially designated as a terrorist group has begun. The coming weeks are going to be very, very interesting. We are winning bigly. We are winning bigly, and we have to keep the momentum up, as I have said many times. America Man on Rumble says, I have never seen Alex Jones so happy during the autism press conference. He's practically orgasmed on camera. I haven't seen that yet. Bronson Knight says, crossing fingers for a hilarious lefty TikTok Tylenol challenge. causing an epidemic of liver failure. I also now we have a new slur for you, Tylenol, baby. Hail the snake pit in the 199. Marmellon says, I think Candace Owens is batshit crazy effing retard, but holy hell, I will say the fact that is a headline is hilarious and effed up at the same time. I don't think Candace Owens is crazy. I think Candace Owens is incredibly smart. And I think she knows exactly what she's doing. It doesn't mean that I think she's right, and it doesn't mean that I agree with her. But Candace Owens is not crazy. Candace Owens is next level smart. I mean, she has worked her way into so many places, dude. She is really smart. Don't underestimate her intelligence level at all. I would definitely recommend don't underestimate her. Like, she is crazy smart. What is this right here? Okay. So next thing we got to talk about is hang on, I got to find it. There was a Benny Johnson clip that I wanted to show you if I could find it. Thought I had it. So Benny Johnson talked about a comment that Elon Musk had last night after the Charlie Kirk event. And because Benny Johnson actually hosted the Charlie Kirk show today. And is this it right here? It might not be. That's the 48-second one. Don Lemon had a comment too, which I thought was pretty funny. Let me show you Don Lemon's comment first. So Don Lemon said this right here. Let's listen to Don Lemon talking about the Charlie Kirk Memorial.
It was a revival meeting wrapped in a memorial, a political rally dressed as church. And by the end of the night, it was clear this was not only about Charlie Kirk's death. It was about his afterlife in politics. Donald Trump stood on the stage like a man at the center of a prophecy. He called Charlie Kirk a martyr.
Yeah.
Other politicians promised to carry out his mission.
Yeah.
The crowd cheered
as
if the passing of the man had lit some sort of sacred fire.
Yeah, Don, that's exactly what it was.
To me, this was not mourning. This was a mobilization.
Yeah.
And here is where we have to tell the truth here. What we saw in that arena was not simply faith-finding public expression. It was religious nationalism on full display.
Yeah.
That is the truth. That is my truth. This is my freedom of expression. This is my First Amendment right to be able to tell you the truth from my point of view. Not just from my point of view. This is what it is. The language was unmistakable. Take the nation back for God. Restore America's covenant. This is a holy calling. That's what it sounded like. This is not the language of democracy. This is the language of domination.
So Breaking 911's like, fact check true. Yes, that's exactly what it was, Don Lemon. You and the left with your language and your hatred and your lies, you all played a part in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And if you don't like what you saw last night, maybe you shouldn't have killed Charlie Kirk. Maybe you shouldn't have gotten him assassinated. Maybe think about that next time you call everybody a racist and a sexist and a Nazi. But you haven't learned, and you're never going to learn. And that's perfectly fine. Continue to do the very thing that has gotten you in this position to begin with. We're fine with that. Nobody feels sorry for you. No one, not one single person feels sorry. And in fact, here's what Benny Johnson had to say on Jesse Waters.
Benny, what would Charlie say to Omar and Crockett?
Yeah, Jesse, thank you so much for having me on tonight. First off, I think we need to take a big step back and look at what is happening in our political landscape, because when people tell you who they are, we have to believe them. That's very important. Who are leftists telling us they are? Right now, the entire Democratic Party is more angry that Jimmy Kimmel got a paid vacation to be with his children than that Charlie Kirk will never see his children again. Jesse, the Democrat Party is more outraged that an unfunny corporate TV comedian had to be put in timeout for a few days than that Charlie Kirk will never speak again. It is critically important to understand that this is not really a political issue anymore. This is now a moral issue. Because when you look at where the terroristic threatening is coming from in this country, it is coming from the left. And you need to ask yourself a question, which is, what has happened to these people? Where is your soul? Where is your humanity? Why can't you just do the honorable and decent thing and say, we apologize for any outrageous thing that we have said? We feel bad about this. We disavow political violence. We apologize to Erica Kirk. Your mourning and suffering must be excruciating, and it is. Why can't you just say that? That's what a decent and honorable person would do. And you want to share country with those kind of people. But that's not what's happening on the left. It's become a spiritual question, Jesse. These people need Jesus. Maybe they should rewatch Charlie Kirk's memorial service.
And they're so upset after it because look at the reaction. It's beautiful.
And there was no negative energy. Everybody was so loving to one another. It was truly a positive experience, even just being around strangers. A lot of people hate that, right? A lot of people hate going. I might be one of them, where you're kind of like, you go into a sporting event and you're like, okay, let's avoid that part. Nothing like that.
Well, I mean, that was one of the things that really ticked off the left yesterday. I was monitoring this stuff online to see this reaction to, everybody worshiping and the tens of thousands of people singing. And that really pissed off the left in this country. And they even tried to pull this stunt. I texted you about it, where they were making it go viral, saying, oh, no, sorry, doors are closed now, stadium's full.
Oh, yeah.
Go home.
I was inside, so I texted an image to you. I'm like, this is a live look at the stadium. People are still coming in. The whole upper bowl was completely empty because they were kind of filling the stadium from bottom to top. Yeah. And I was like, please get this out. I don't know if you ended up tweeting that.
Oh, yeah, it did. I mean, it got seen millions and millions of times. Good. And because people were sharing it because they knew what was going on. The left saw these images that we were putting out, like the drone footage and, the video that you just showed here of these endless lines of people. And they're like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad because, they're in a spiral at this point. Because, a lot of people, as I said, been woken up. They have seen what the left has been doing over the past week, celebrating the death of somebody as wholesome and good and well-intentioned as Charlie Kirk, that they don't know what to do at this point. So they're going to continue trying to demonize us. They wanted to be able to show pictures of a crap ton of empty seats and say, this was a failure. I guess people really didn't care that much. That was their goal. And they failed because if you look at the arena next door too, that was packed as well.
The overflow arena is what he's talking about. And then the New York Post had this cover. You can't write a better script than what happened. You can't do it because this was organic. This was natural. This happened because people are authentic here. Hollywood would try to write a script like this. The Oscars try to write scripts like this every year. These fake award shows. When something's authentic, you don't have to force it. It just happens. It just happens. And on top of that, maybe the single most beautiful thing that came from this that is going to be impactful is Elon Musk and President Trump are back on the same page. And listen to what Charlie Kirk had to say about this not too long ago.
Yeah, it's been hard to watch today and unfortunate in some regards. And I love your take, which is both of these men deserve great credit for their contributions to help save civilization. Elon Musk bought Twitter, which of course became X a couple years ago, which liberated speech. And then, of course, President Trump built the most amazing political movement we've ever seen. He was shot, almost shot again. He was impeached twice. He was facing 700 years in federal prison. And he was so clear about not surrendering and not backing down and not giving up. I will say it's a tough thing to watch, this public feud. I actually think they're going to reconcile at some point, though, because deep down, I would like to believe they both want the same thing.
And guess what? This was yesterday. Elon Musk tweeted out this picture for Charlie. 1 million likes, 60 million views. Sounds like people were very happy that President Trump and Elon Musk back together again. And it's beautiful to see. I mean, this is exactly what, everybody wanted. And then we had this right here from Benny Johnson, where he talked about Benny shares exclusive behind-the-scenes account of what Elon Musk said to a group backstage after joining President Trump in his box at Charlie Kirk's memorial right here.
See a lot of interactions. I got backstage, front stage. I was seated amongst all the cabinet secretaries. Got to see a lot. Elon Musk came by a couple times. And I just want to use Elon Musk as a example of the power of Charlie's legacy. Elon Musk and Donald Trump had a bit of a falling out. Maybe you've heard of it. And that sucked, especially for guys like Charlie, who were coalition builders. Charlie Kirk was thanked on stage by Donald Trump himself for bringing together RFK Jr. and Maha movement. Donald Trump says, Charlie created Maha. I don't think Charlie ever will get the credit that he deserves for doing that. But also, Charlie Kirk brought together massive coalitions of, well, at any Turning Point event, you can find Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and Tucker Carlson sharing the same stage, right? Maybe not together, but they're all there, right? To give an opportunity to project their worldview, right? Charlie was constantly doing that, constantly bridging gaps, constantly fusing together, because he realized that if we don't hang together, we will surely hang separately, which is exactly what Elon Musk told me. So backstage, Elon Musk embraces Erica Kirk, and she's crying in his arms, and they're hugging, and it's really profound. This was after the speeches. This was after the program. And this is the words that Elon Musk said to us in this small little group with Erica Kirk. And he said, this is why I was proud to sit with my president. This is what he called Trump, my president today. He accepted Trump's invitation to go up there, and the majority of the event, Elon Musk sent sitting there with Donald Trump, chewing it up. Everyone can see here's the photos of Elon embracing Erica, and then there are photos of Elon with Trump, and they seem to be having a great time. Dana White also there. What not only was the size and scope of this and the peacefulness of it a profound eulogy for Charlie and his memory, but the cornerstone of it all, to unite the world's most powerful, richest private civilian with the world's most powerful public figure, Donald Trump. Charlie said, in this chair right here, he hoped that it happened. There's a clip that went viral yesterday. Charlie saying, I pray that Elon Musk and Donald Trump reconcile. And they did so at Charlie's funeral in Charlie's memory. Mm-hmm. A profound and beautiful example of what Charlie constantly was doing for our movement. And he fused together the greatest schism that we've seen in the nascent Trump administration. He just fixed Trump and Elon together. We saw it live. And it's like the power of Charlie crying out. I mean, after death, crying out, and like still the power of Charlie, like bringing together these tectonic forces that should not reconcile. These are two stubborn men. These are two men that don't need each other, honestly. But Elon Musk told me this. He hugs Erica Kirk. He looks to all of us and he goes, if we don't hang together, we will surely hang separately. So let us unite. I was proud to sit with my president tonight. That's what Elon told us. That's what Elon told us backstage. Wow. And so, again, just as a little behind the scenes vignette here, what you watched yesterday, what tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people saw yesterday, definitely hundreds of millions saw yesterday.
That's good stuff right there. And, I want you to understand the optics that are going on right now. And this is why I continue to say, let the left keep doing what they're doing. Because everybody needs to see the difference in what the conservative, MAGA, Republican non-crazy leftist movement is. And I want to show you the discrepancies, okay? So that the clip that I played to start this out, that was uploaded by the White House. I'm going to play that one more time. Then I'm going to play you what we're seeing from the left right now. And you tell me how you think normies are going to see this. So first, here's the clip that the White House put together right here. And then we're going to play the left clip.
And the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Hear your people sing.
Now you see that. Now let's take a look at what the left is up to. There you go. Hey, there you go. Which side do you want to be on? Just curious, which side would you like to join? Would you like to join the side that, you know, comes together, prays, sings, forgives people? Or would you like to be on the side of this old cat lady right here? Or would you like to be on the side of ghetto fabulous Jasmine Crockett right here?
You can wave all the flags you want to, but I am telling you right now that the most unpatriotic people that we have in this country are MAGA and this president. We are the real patriots, and it is time for us to take our flag back and show people what America is about. You can't say that you love the Constitution while decimating it with every single stroke of a pen for an executive order, while decimating it, while you are disrespecting our troops that have signed up to protect our freedoms, not just here, but abroad. And then you're taking people's freedoms away using those exact same troops.
Shit. What you talking about? What you talking about? There you have it. Ministry of Wrong Things says the left officially lost the narrative. Absolutely. Matt Frog says Boogie went on, that's the Bill Clinton kid, Matan is how you say his name, show. Very funny trolling. Archer Blade says better than Pokemon Go to the polls. Tired Retro Gamer says JD has to be behind me, the Pokemon. JD has to be behind the Pokemon ad. MAGA Mike says Trump's administration in the last week has went all gas, no brakes, and the left just can't keep up with it. I wish Charlie Kirk were here to see it. Matt Frog says Don Lemonades. Mola Ram says Don Lemon is finally right about something. Hammer of Subtlety says, how does Don Lemon look gayer than usual? Fantastic Mr. Knox says Don Lemon cried for George Floyd. MAGA Mike says, I like how a parent company of ABC is now refusing to broadcast the Jimmy Kimmel show. We are winning. Yes, we are. We got to keep it up. Random commentator says, when I hear my truth come out of someone's mouth, it makes my vomit come out of mine. Well, the problem is we love Trump, but I cringe whenever Trump's talking about Truth Social. And then he's like, you know, I put out one of my truths yesterday. And I'm like, oh. Donald Trump is the greatest marketer of all time. But calling Truth Social, and calling the tweets on that platform truths is the worst idea ever from President Trump. I hate the name True Social, and I hate calling them truth. I sent out a truth. What? Ugh. Like, come on. You should have called it Trump. Trumpet. Yeah, trumpet. Trumpet. I sent out a trumpet yesterday. Slain Hope says Don Lemon is spiritually bankrupt perspective. MAGA Mike says Trump is America's dad and they want us dead because we are his children. MAGA Mike says, has anyone else noticed the normies or the normie brainwashed leftists like Angry Joe have basically disappeared from the political trenches? It's interesting how that works, isn't it? MAGA Mike says, make America kind again. Godzilla's Greaser says, it's going to be so nice for us Texans to never have to hear from Croco shit again. Ministry of Wrong Things says, the Trump pinata doesn't even have candy. Matt Frog says, worst name, Locals or True Social? Locals. Locals is still worse. Yeah, Locals is still worse. Locals is the worst. Like, only a gay man could have made up the name Locals for a platform to compete with Patreon. Oh, yeah, that's Dave Rubin. That's why we call our locals Locals 5, okay? Locals 5, that's the cool way to do it. That's the cool way. Locals 5. Uh-oh. What is this? Kamala Harris declares the nation that President Trump is a communist dictator as she promotes her new book. What? Wait, hang on. Wait, I got to hear this word salad. Hang on.
A tyrant. We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now in Donald Trump. And these titans of industry are not speaking up.
So I guess she's back to promote her book. So we're going to see clips of her now. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I don't want to see more clips of her. I don't want to hear her voice anymore. I want nothing to do with her. I'll pass. Would not. Somebody in the chat says would not. I respect that. Would not. Over on Rumble, we got Master MK7 says, I went back to church after 16 years, felt great. Charlie Kirk effect. Look at that. That is awesome. That is awesome. Ministry of Wrong Things says, poll, which is worse, Locals or G&G's new theme? What's our new theme? You want the Bro Island theme? It's not our new theme. I don't know what our new theme is. Mola Ram says, Kamala had too much Colt 45. MAGA Mike says, no, that lady's shirt said MACA, like Make America Kind Again, as she tried to decapitate our president. Oh, I got you. You were making fun of it. Okay, okay. Laughing Man's in the chat yelling at me, as he always does. I'm going to get this. I'll get her off the screen. All right. So there. You guys happy now? I got Kamala off the screen. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. I didn't want you guys to suffer. So I apologize for having Kamala on the screen. So this should be better. I'm always looking out for the chat. I'm always looking out for the chat. Deathu says, breaking news, Jeremy. Iger thinks True Social is horrible while he pushes. Or Iger, Jeremy. You mean Jeremy Iger. Okay, I got it. You're calling me Bob Iger. While he pushes Geeks Gamers Locals to everyone with no WWE or AEW events. Oh, you don't want to. Oh, my bad. You don't want to see Jasmine Crockett either. My bad. Look, I get it. All right. Okay. Okay. My bad. Here. All right. Is that better? Is that good? Is that good? Hakeem Jeffries? Chat? Is that okay? Coley says, didn't take very long for the media to go back to this narrative that got Charlie assassinated. Okay, my bad. My bad. Okay, sorry. I don't know what you want. So, no one says, how much semen did she ingest to get that book deal? I don't want to know, if I'm being honest, okay? I don't want to know. Okay, here, this will be a little bit better for you. How about this? the fact that that's better is interesting, okay? The fact that that's better is kind of interesting, just saying. I mean, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about that? That's interesting, huh? Okay. Just curious if you want to, you know. Anyway, no one, thank you for the 20. I appreciate that. That one guy says Jeremy buys Dan Vask fart jars. Just kidding. Love you, Jeremy. Eric Hevelfinger says, if Trump is a commie, then wouldn't that mean the left supports him? So now what? They run around yelling no to commies while waving the commie flag. A lot of thought went into that statement. These people are something else. Oh, Laughing Man says he almost paid for that. I mean, it's about a 1.5-minute clip, okay? Just saying. About a 1.5-minute clip. Alan Tanasi says, did you see the Don Lemon video today? The left is scared of the Christian revival. Yep, we literally just covered that. We just covered it. Mueller M says Hakeem Jeffries is fake Bama. Fake Bama. Jay Frazier says, Hail 199 Jeremy. If the chat wants a funny video, I recommend the latest Roca meltdown over the JK situation. You'll find it on Mr. Grizzy 2.0, RIP Charlie Kirk. Another Roca meltdown. I'll have to check that one out. I'm definitely interested. Coop says, you didn't say my super for days, I'm out. Coop's always mad at me. I don't know. You know, like, what do you want me to do, Coop? You're always mad at me. Even when I do read your super chat, you're still mad at me. Oh, no. Listen, my job is to cover the news, okay? Kamala goes on a word salad about the light when attempting to explain the book she wrote. Oh boy.
You know, we were all on that campaign together, those 107 days, and it was historic. Think about it. We have never, as a country, seen a campaign where the seated president of the United States, 3.5 months before the election, decides not to run. The sitting vice president then enters the race against a former president of the United States who had been running for 10 years with 107 days to do it. Mm-hmm. Resulting in, by the way, and again, thank you to all the sisters here and on the other room where they are and everywhere celebrating.
It only took 45 seconds to get an awkward laugh. It only took 45 seconds.
The other room where they are and everywhere celebrating their birthdays, not here. Because we ended up, in spite of what this person in the White House would say, in one of the closest presidential elections in modern history. In fact, the closest in the 21st century. Mm-hmm. And so I felt it very important to remind us all of what we accomplished. And to your point also, I wasn't about to have history tell this story without my voice being present. Especially in this moment in time where there are so many people engaged in revisionist history, trying to rewrite our history. And I think what we all know is this is the beauty.
I can't do it. I'm done. I'm out. I don't care. I can't get through this. God, the fact that like tens of millions of people voted for her is terrifying. And that's why we have to continue to move forward. All of this momentum, we cannot let this. Rapid Response is tweeting out Kamala clips now. Rapid Response 47. Sick. Failed presidential candidate Kamala Harris is inciting violence on MSDNC, calling the duly elected president of the United States, who escaped 2 assassination attempts, a tyrant. Rapid Response 47 calling her out. Phantasmus Knox says, Kamala could have sold a joke of a book about all the calls she's given to people. Now that would have sold, maybe. Yeah, maybe. You are correct. So I'm glad that Rapid Response 47 is calling her out on this. Very happy about that. Oh, yeah, these... oh, wait, hang on. Oh, where did it go? Hang on. All right. They're asking her about Buttigieg. Who's Buttigieg, you ask? Would you like to know who Buttigieg is? Here's Buttigieg.
And, when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, you know, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party.
Buttigieg. Here we go.
If his reaction to that, since this part of the book has come out, if you've had any reflection on that, or I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
With you.
So there was a report that Kamala Harris wanted to bring on Buttigieg as her VP, but decided because he's gay that he can't actually help her win. And so she's now trying to shoot those rumors down because the Democratic Party is being exposed as the very people that they claim everyone else is. So this is her spin, apparently.
You running as, you know, you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a Black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president. To say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay is hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point, as I write in the book, is that I was clear that...
Dude, are you going to answer? Listen to the stuttering. No. Look, okay, this stuttering went on for what, 15 seconds?
Effectively because he was gay. It's hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point, as I write in the book, is that I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested...
Bro, today, Junior, what is... Dude, this dumb idiot cannot speak.
And she mentioned thank you about 50 times. Did you see the beginning? Thank you. 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 I said, what the hell is wrong with her?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Please. Thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank elections for president of the United States against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor. To be a Black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
What is this answer? What is this answer?
No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about, yeah, right. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but we had such a short period of time. And the stakes were so high. I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant.
Dude, this is so bad. Please, Kamala, honestly, I take back what I said. Keep talking, Kamala. Please do as many interviews as possible. This is horrifically bad.
And I think America is and would be ready for that. But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go, and maybe I was being too cautious. I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was. But that's the decision I made. And I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that.
Yeah.
With a great deal of sadness about also the fact that it might have been a risk.
That was incredible. That was 2 minutes of saying, yes, I didn't bring Buttigieg on because he's gay, without saying it.
And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party.
Dude, could you imagine what Trump would do if Buttigieg was like the VP? Like, oh my goodness, dude, it would be brutal. It would be brutal. In a nice, loving relationship. Oh man. Look at this. Look at the headlines. Kamala confirms Buttigieg wasn't her running mate because he's gay. That's exactly. Like, I love that she denies it to start, but then she spends 2 minutes confirming it. My goodness, how stupid. How stupid she is. There has never been a better spokesperson, a better poster child for DEI than Kamala Harris. She's stupid, she's unqualified, and she got elevated because she's so stupid they can control her. That's it right there. What an idiot. Whit G says Buttigieg goes to the Hyperbole. Mueller says Kamala said America wouldn't vote for a ticket made up of 2 big gamer words. That is awesome right there. That is awesome. She basically said, I've been in enough Xbox Live lobbies, and let me tell you right now, I can guarantee you a ticket with me and Buttigieg, we ain't getting in. Braidzo says, God bless this community. Things have changed. We shall not tolerate evil anymore. Run for office. IDOTS. Thank you. Matt Fox says, can Kamala go back to being an Indian now? YouTube is run by Marxists. Says, Trump is a communist dictator now. I thought he was a fascist dictator. Democrats need to make up their minds. Starry Night says, I bet her book is written in word salad too. Matt Frog says, she makes Beardo sound like Tolkien. Slain Hope says, you know why? Because you're gay. Yeah, she's an idiot. And her back talking is, I could just imagine the Democrats going, can somebody shut her up? Please? Can someone shut this woman up? She's terrible. What is this? Bill O'Reilly just ripped apart Jimmy Kimmel's free speech battle as nothing but BS. Okay, let's hear this.
You think he's going to apologize? No,
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't think he will. Look, this story is bogus. The story is that Disney and Kimmel, for 3 years, would not put on a non-liberal voice on his program. You talk about no freedom of speech and expression. That story has been totally ignored, and it's not just ABC. It was CBS, NBC, MS, and CNN. Okay? They will not put any non-liberal voice on air, and I know that because I'm in this midst of marketing confronting evil.
Yeah.
And before Trump entered the political arena, I got on those shows routinely because I bring high ratings to the shows, and the books are number ones. But the point is, and this is such an important point, this whole freedom of speech BS is coming from the far left to make Kimmel a victim and to make Trump a villain.
That's
when
true.
for 10 years, they have banished all traditional conservative thought and discourse on all of their programs, all of them. Okay, you have a book coming out next week. Let's see how much you get booked. They don't want non-liberal voices.
They don't
That
even want
is Putin
yeah.
stuff.
And guess what? And guess what? On top of that, I just saw this clip. CNN had this chick on. You got to be kidding me. All right, look at here. I haven't heard the clip, but I saw the headline. Liberal CNN commentator Ashley Allison says we shouldn't assume Jimmy Kimmel's viewership skews to the left. What?
I think there's also an assumption of his viewership. I agree that like the mass media might be over, perhaps, I don't know, but there's a lot of people that are just laying in bed watching Jimmy Kimmel, whether they're really paying attention to it or not. And some of them are Republicans and some of them are Democrats. And they may be watching and disagreeing with everything he says, but that is something that actually is a part of this adrenaline dopamine hit is in mass media right now, is why we swipe so much, is like you actually need a charge of something. But last week when this happened, all of my Republican friends on this network told me this was a business decision. This happened because Sinclair affiliates were saying that their folks did not.
I do have exclusive video of this young lady. Would you like to see the exclusive video I have of this CNN woman? This is her. I think. I can't confirm this, but I think this is her. Damn! Not sure, but I believe this is her right before she talked about this topic. Damn! I don't know. Maybe not.
Want to watch Jimmy Kimmel. Well, I was reading reports this weekend that Disney lost $4 billion, whether it was in shares, whether it was because there was an effort by folks on the left to get people to cancel their subscription. And I would argue perhaps Disney also saw that as a business decision and that they might have the pendulum might have swung too far.
The what? Wait, the what? All right, first of all, she's already called him Jimmy Kimmel. And then what did she just say?
They might have the pendulum might have swung too far. Presidents should not determine what people are saying and what people are not saying, but voters get to determine how they spend their dollars, how they select their subscriptions, and what they watch. And I think that this was a win for the left and the voters.
Larry Man says pendulum.
Decision, and that they might.
Oh, man. Goodness. Here we go. But hey, I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's audience just doesn't skew left, apparently, everyone. It's just a bunch of MAGA people from Chicago that go to Subway at 2 a.m. That's the people that are watching Jimmy Kimmel. They're screaming in Chicago, this MAGA country, hanging out at the Subway. Like, hey, we got to go watch Jimmy Kimmel. Madney says Buttigieg is a real place in Tibet. There you go. See, Trump knew. Trump knows. The Rick says, is she stupid or her audience? Probably equal. Banielson says, thanks for the effing membership, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. probably equal. Now, I don't know if this is like, I don't know. You guys know I'm the owner of Geeks and Gamers. We have a YouTube channel, Geeks and Gamers. I'd love for you to go subscribe to that channel. But we have the website and everything like that. So we do cover entertainment. Normally, I don't get into too much entertainment on Cobracast unless it's relevant, but there's a new horror movie that was just announced. And I think this thing's going to break records. All right? New horror movie. Are you ready? Here it is. Here's the new. This is the trailer. It's the teaser trailer for a new horror movie. You guys let me know what you think.
Injustice, and again, the food security issue. He's been spelling that out the whole time. I want you to know that we in the Congress, injustice.
Bro, what is going on with her? David Phillips for 50 says it worked, Jeremy. I was using my MK Ultra skills to get you to play the damn clip. Chat lives matter, mod lives matter. What's up, David? Good to see you here, brother. I don't know. What do you guys think? Pretty good horror movie, right? Now, some of you are saying, Jeremy, are you saying like horror movie or whore movie? Why not both? It could be a horror movie, or it could be a movie about whores.
And again, the food security issue. He's been spelling that out the whole time. I want you to know that we in the...
I don't know what that clip is, man. Yes, Kate, you can get the outro again tonight when we end the stream. Yes, Kate. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate it. Wait a minute. Kamala says that the 2024 election, in which she lost every single swing state and the popular vote, ended up being the closest presidential election in the 21st century.
The sitting vice president enters the race against a former president of the United States who's been running for 10 years with 107 days to go. And it ended up being the closest presidential election in the 21st century. And the sitting vice president...
My gosh. Yes, Kate, I got you. Fantastic Snog says, okay, is Maxine Waters a lizard person? Scary. Very scary. Slain Hope says, Democrats don't believe in freedom of speech. They only believe in freedom to lie. Nandy says, anyone, if you can DM Waters weed guy number. I honestly, I kind of want her to keep talking. I do, man. It's just gold. It's absolute gold. I love it because she's so bad at this. She's terrible. What is this? Wait, what? When is this? Wait. This is okay. So this is a few months ago, but Chuck Schumer, they don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy.
It's been clear. When we fight for democracy, when we protect democracy, we got to fight fire with fire.
Palestinian senator, by the way. That's what Trump said.
We're not going to stand idly by, as Maya said. We're not going to let them revert to Jim Crow. And if you don't think they want to revert to Jim Crow, just look what they did in the SAVE Act, which went back to took Jim Crow for the whole nation. By so making it hard, they said you need ID, and they made it so hard to show ID that probably half the people in America couldn't vote. We wouldn't let it pass. Democrats, they needed our vote. They went to court. Many of us, Durbin, myself, and others were lead plaintiffs, and we beat them in court. But it shows why we need legislation, because these guys are undoing everything in every way they can. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy. We do. It's been clear.
Oh, man.
When we fight for democracy.
These people are absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, but Gavin Newsom and his little like Twitter account, like his press release Twitter account, tweeted something out pretty crazy, like just a few days after Charlie Kirk's assassination. It was the press office, the Gavin Newsom press office, and it said, Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day. You're welcome, America. And it was like, that's a little weird that he said that. So here's Kristi Noem addressing that. But that's exactly what it said. Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day. You're welcome, America. That's exactly what it said. So what did she have to say about it?
Well, it was cryptic and it was really menacing. I would say, Sean, it immediately panicked my family and friends. Within, I would say, a couple of minutes of that being posted, I started to get text messages and phone calls, family, my kids saying, "Are you okay, Mom? Are you fine?" They know the threats that I've had. They know the threats that they've had, the things that have happened to them because of politicians like this that say things and somebody grabs onto them that has an agenda, the cartels and criminals that have threatened our family already. So when you get a post like that by a governor, immediately, my staff and family think, what is going on? What does he mean? And we're trying to figure it out.
Now, just so, and I'll play the rest of the clip, but this is the tweet in question right here. This is all the tweet said. This was 2 days ago, September 20th at 11:17 a.m. That's all that this account said. Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day. You're welcome, America. That's all it said.
So, this is a day and age where we've always known that words matter, but there's been real consequences that we have realized that have happened to incredible people like Charlie that we'll have to live with forever. And I hope we all learn from that. I hope we all learn that it's time to start listening to each other, having civil discourse, and stop ridiculous, irresponsible posts like Governor Newsom put out there.
Is it confirmed as an account? Yeah, Gavin Newsom retweets that account all the time. So it's definitely, and it's basically him trying to be like Trump. That's what he does on that account, or he has people running it. And he's trying to be like Trump. He's essentially copying Trump over there. But he doesn't, again, you can't actually be like Trump. You just end up looking stupid like he's looked the whole entire time. Let me see here. Stream Hero says, looks like she's trying hard not to lose that staring contest with the cameraman. Mark Zuckerberg might have some competition. Eric K says that we are a republic. Caught up over there. Okay. I'm looking. There was another tweet that I had pulled up that I wanted to show you guys, and I can't find it at the moment. So if you're looking for an update on the Jimmy Kimmel story, because I know a lot of you have heard about the Jimmy Kimmel story, the update is that Jimmy Kimmel, Disney has decided to bring Jimmy Kimmel back. Okay, that is confirmed. Disney has decided to bring him back. The problem is that a lot of the affiliates, including Sinclair, has not decided to bring Jimmy Kimmel back. So it is true that Disney has decided to bring him back, but it is also true that he is still canceled because a Sinclair spokesperson has confirmed that Jimmy Kimmel's show will be pulled from their ABC affiliates indefinitely, despite the news of ABC bringing back Kimmel's failing show. So beginning on Tuesday, Sinclair has said that they're going to replace his show with programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return. And then Benny says, sources tell me that the network wants Jimmy Kimmel to apologize to Erica Kirk for maliciously lying about Charlie's murder. So that's where we are right there. So we'll see what happens. Harley Dave's in the house. What up, Harley Dave? Says, what I miss Where we going? Well, that's kind of the major update right there, Harley, is the situation with Jimmy Kimmel. Jackson for 2 says, nice. Thank you, Jackson. Appreciate it. And yeah, there's a lot of Kamala word salad as well, Harley, that I don't think anybody wants me to go over anymore, but there's been a lot of Kamala word salad for sure. Absolutely has. Bird Up says, my second super chat is older than Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. Read it, you inbred. Your second super chat. That's the first one I've seen tonight from you, Bird Up. Hang on. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Hang on. Oh, why didn't I see this one? I was having trouble sitting. Then Kamala called me and said, freedom. And it cured my hemorrhoids. Look at that. I did not see that one. For whatever reason, it didn't show up on my list, but I do see it there. Thank you, Bird Up. I'm sorry I missed that one, brother. See? All right, he got me on that one. He got me. Busted. By the way, gosh, where is it? There was another thing that was in my bookmarks, and now it's disappeared from my bookmarks. Benny is making some big plays. Go, Benny, go. Benny's doing fantastic. And he's been doing fantastic for a long time, actually. So for those that missed it, though, I got to play this just because last night with Erica Kirk and her amazing words about, the assassin that took Charlie's life and her ability to forgive. We did have President Trump reminding everybody why he's President Trump.
Missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. Charlie's angry. Looking down, he's angry at me now. Missionary with...
Oh, man. Trump is one of one. There's nobody else like him. There's nobody. Like, in that moment, nobody else would say that. Everybody else would just be like, okay, I've got to be respectful. Like, nope, no, not Trump. Trump's going to do whatever Trump wants to do. And that's the bottom line on it. Oh, man. I love seeing people get so upset by Trump. Like, oh, my God, he's so arrogant. You're like, yeah. And? Like, do you think you're breaking news when you say, I can't believe you like Trump. He's so arrogant. You're like, oh, my God, Trump is arrogant? Oh, my God, I never realized this. I never thought that Trump was arrogant until you, a random Twitter user, telling me that he's arrogant. Oh, my gosh, man. You're telling me the guy with golden buildings and his name plastered everywhere is arrogant? Breaking news. Good Lord, man. The stupidity of some people thinking that they're the first ones. They're like, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to expose Trump. Like, oh, my God. Okay, thank you. Next, you're probably going to tell me that you're the first person that's made fun of Christian Bale's Batman voice, right? I'm the first one ever, guys. No one else has ever done it. Okay, thank you. We appreciate that. You ever run across the guy that thinks he's the first person that's made fun of Christian Bale's Batman voice? I don't like The Dark Knight because Christian Bale sounds like he has throat cancer. You're like, I know. Literally everybody has talked about this. You're not the first person. Why do you think you're the first person that's made fun of Christian Bale's Batman voice? Good Lord. It's amazing. Welcome to the internet, though, right? Nancy Pelosi right here. Sell Tylenol stock, everybody. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. So Nancy is getting rid of all Tylenol stock. It's interesting. Is this, like, I think I might be the first person that's ever made a Nancy Pelosi insider trading joke. Guys, give me credit. All right? I'm the first person that's ever done it. So I need credit and super chats. Everyone else is just following my lead. I'm the first person that's ever done it. Somebody gave me credit in the chat. Barb Omega. See, thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I want. Just want a credit. Give me credit and I'm happy. Okay, what is this? Oh, look, Rob Reiner has finally been released from the Trump derangement mental institution. What is this? Rob Reiner was on with Bill Maher.
He identifies places where the Democrats did fuck up. And I could go down that list too, like the border, like DEI was out of control, colleges completely out of control, elite universities where the kids are raised to be these anarchist, America-hating anti-Semites, and there is zero diversity of opinion. You know, the hypocrisy of diversity is the greatest thing in the world, except of what we think, which is where it's also very important.
But the point is, you can't force people. You know, if the university, what he's trying to do is force the federal government onto the universities and forcing them to.
Well, they're
going to withhold certain things unless you do this.
Well, I mean, if they're getting taxpayer dollars and they're supposed to be, therefore, in the service of this country to a degree, yes, I think then you have some right. Now, of course, the way he does it is always a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
He goes in there with a club and just starts breaking shit.
Yeah.
I mean, what does taking away cancer funding have to do with the anti-Semitism on campus? But again, Harvard has an endowment of $50 billion. Really? They couldn't make that up? They can't find that $500 million themselves somewhere? So there's a lot of bullshit and hypocrisy.
Well, right now, the UC system is also going to be under attack.
I'm always surprised at looking back on some of the movies that Rob Reiner has directed that I like back in the day, because Rob Reiner is crazy. Like, he's absolutely insane. Like, he is insane. David Phillips for 20 says, Jeremy, did you hear about President Trump winning again? Trump secures victory as pharma giant launches a drug at same price in U.S. and Europe. He's always winning. He's always winning. Great director, POS human. Agreed. But thank you, David. I wasn't aware of that one, but another dub for President Trump, as always. Harley Dave says, let's be real. What is the world now? All in on Beardo? Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. 1990s Space Movie says, I think I can speak for the chat that they would rather watch a 1992 space movie than listen to Kamala. Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Hammer of Subtlety says, I claim myself as the first to call you gay, femboy, with the MAGA tramp stamp. Thank you. Young says he didn't take away cancer research. The libs will believe whatever they want to believe, and that's why it's just not worth taking them seriously at all. Never. You just laugh at them. Again, there's some people that are just, all you can do is laugh and meme. And that's how you have to do it, man. What is this? Chuck Todd is upset. Is Chuck Todd mad that President Trump has designated Antifa as a terrorist organization? Let's hear what Chuck Todd has to say.
It's going to be this executive order where they're going to try to create a new classification for anybody on the left who opposes Trump as somehow a member of Antifa and a terrorist.
Yes.
Like, this is coming. And I don't think we are fully now. I don't think there's any the problem. Like, I don't even know what Antifa is. I know what the definition of Antifa is, and
I know what the word means, but it's not
correct.
a group.
There is no group.
No.
And so, but what's dangerous is that by designating it, who's going to define who the group is? And if the Trump administration decides to say, you, George Soros, are a part of this group that I designated, and you're like, no, I'm not, and it doesn't matter. Like, they're going to then use that as some sort of potential opening. And I think that's what's so extraordinarily dangerous about these designations. Like what he did with, look, he's sort of testing the theory of this case with what he's doing with Venezuela and sort of designating this sort of, well, they're narco.
Hey guys, all those groups that have terrorized, literally burnt buildings and businesses and neighborhoods to the ground, they don't exist. They don't exist, guys. They don't exist.
terrorist.
Narco-terrorist
and
state.
somehow it allows, by the way, he's using the AUMF
Yeah,
as,
of course.
as their legal cover on this, which of course is just
20 odd years old.
So far removed from what the AMUF was meant to be. It's going to.
Yeah. So, hey guys, you know these groups that George Soros is funding? Well, those groups don't really exist, and George Soros isn't really funding them. That is incredible. Like, you're confirming it by bringing George Soros up, by saying it doesn't exist. It's absolutely incredible. And you know, listen, every now and then, I find myself thinking about someone. And I just wonder, how's she doing? What's she up to right now? What's going on with her? And it's this lady right here. I just think about her. I wonder how she's doing right now.
Okay, so we're closing in on almost 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I've been tracking everything that's been going on across the country today. And my most important encounter was when I went out to get my champagne. I was talking to the guy in the store, of course, asking him, did he vote? And he said he did early voting, and he asked me if I early voted. And he asked me, you know, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, you know, she's going to win this, right? And he says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, no, it's not. The women of America are making their voices heard. Reproductive rights is what it all comes down to. And the women are voting in numbers relative to men that are unbelievable. She's won this. And I said to him, she's going to take every one of the swing states plus Iowa. And he said, oh, but the numbers are so close. I said, I'm a political analyst. I'm telling you right now, the numbers are there. She's taking this election. And then I said to him, you realize, and he didn't tell me who he voted for, but of course I knew. And I said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right? And I didn't care. And I walked out with my bottle of champagne and happily walked home. Bye-bye.
I think about her sometimes. I just wonder how she's doing. Wonder what she's up to. Wonder what she thinks about this wonderful country that we live in and all the wonderful things that President Trump is doing. Just brings a smile to my face when I think about it. Whew. Let's see. We got that. Bird Up says Rob Reiner is still upset that people liked Archie and hated Metalhead or Meathead. Victor says dude on the right sounds exactly how he looks. Slain Hope says the BS the Dems believe is their sub for religion. Nico says RIP Charlie Kirk and rest easy, brother. You did God's work. Jeremy, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate it, brother. 199. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Harley Dave says flipping tables with Jesus. Let's see, where's it at? Ministry of Brown Things says, did Trump say Tylenol is a cause or the cause? I think he said it's a cause, I think. Piano Dean says, I think what has made me one of the more successful audiobook narrators is that I'm not afraid to switch books if the one I'm reading is boring me. That's well said, Piano Dean. Diane K says, we're back to Antifa being an idea. They have an actual flag that they carry. It's just an idea, guys. They've been running with that narrative forever, by the way. Yeah, it's amazing. Let's see. Stiff Kitten says, liberal tears, nom nom. They are beautiful, aren't they? They are beautiful. We love them. Steve is Strange on Rumble says, damn it, if Trump had quoted a Bible verse, I would have had bingo. Mod Eric says, Rob Reiner said if Trump won, he was going to light himself on fire. I think he lied. What did happen to all those moving out of the USA too? It's amazing how they never follow through with any of that stuff, isn't it? But, you know, what are you going to do? All right, I think we are at the end of tonight's episode of Cobracast Unit 199. Like I said, I am traveling a lot over the next week, so might have some truck video streams. Might be from different locations, but I will be going live, so it just probably won't be as consistent as it's been, but I will be going live. And I might just make some individual uploads if I can't go live, talking about some news or something like that. So be on the lookout for that. I do appreciate it. I got to get up very early in the morning and hit the road. I was supposed to hit the road today, but I got to get up very early. So for Kate, we're going to drop the Sabaton outro since Kate has demanded it. So we're going to leave it there. I appreciate it. You guys have a good evening, and I will talk to all of you later. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It's time to move forward, and we're going to do just that. So you guys have a good night. I'll talk to all of you later.